Olá, pessoal! If you plan to start studying Brazilian Portuguese or you already know some, today's lesson is a great opportunity for you to learn or review the basics. In this video, we will briefly learn some fundamental concepts of Brazilian Portuguese, facilitating your learning journey. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on content as valuable as this. Today's lesson is more like an introductory lesson. In order to have a deeper understanding of Brazilian Portuguese, I suggest that after watching this lesson, you watch the videos already posted on the channel. This lesson has been divided into chapters. My suggestion is that you watch the whole lesson first and then re-watch the chapters that need more attention. Let's get started. Subject pronouns. Let's start by talking about subject pronouns. Don't worry about the fancy words I'm using. Things will get clearer once I provide you examples. Well, English has the following subject pronouns. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Yes? These are the subject pronouns that you will see in Portuguese in a Portuguese grammar book. Eu, equivalent to I, eu. Tu, equivalent to you, tu. Ele, equivalent to he, and it, when it is a masculine noun, ele. Ela, equivalent to she or it, when it is a feminine noun, ela. Nós, equivalent to we. Vós, equivalent to you, as in you guys, vós. Eles, equivalent to they, when they refers to a group where there are only masculine nouns or to a mixed group where there is at least one masculine noun, eles. And then elas, equivalent to they, when they refers to a group where there are only feminine nouns, elas. As I said before, this is what you'll see in a Portuguese grammar book. I'm not talking about real life, not yet. I'm talking about what you'll see in a Portuguese grammar book. Eu, tu, ele, ela, nós, vós, eles, elas. But in Brazilian Portuguese, the use of subject pronouns have changed over the years. Yeah. For example, in Brazil, tu is used, but it's not common among most Brazilians. No, tu is mainly used in specific cities. What most Brazilians use is você. So você is a replacement for tu. The pronoun nós, we, nós, is used everywhere in Brazil, but colloquially we often replace it with a gente. A gente, nós, or a gente. Now, vós, you can practically cross it out from the list. No, vós is only found in very formal settings, like literary texts, religious ceremonies. So therefore, these are the subject pronouns Brazilians often use. Most Brazilians often use. Just like in English, all subject pronouns are used in affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and questions. And in Portuguese, they are placed before the main verb, but we're going to talk about that in our third chapter. So, examples here. I study Português. Eu estudo português. Você estuda português. Ele estuda português. Ela estuda português. Nós estudamos português. Vocês estudam português. Eles estudam português. Elas estudam português. You may have noticed that the verb estudar changed depending on the subject pronoun used. This leads us to our next chapter. Verbs. Verbs. In Portuguese, verbs are conjugated. They will be conjugated according to the verb tense used and with the subject pronoun use, as you saw in the previous examples. Eu estudo, você estuda, nós estudamos. Huh? Portuguese has mainly three verb classes. Verbs that end in AR, verbs that end in ER, and verbs that end in IR. There is the verb por and the ones that derive from it, but I won't talk about them in today's lesson. There is a lesson on the channel, a very good one, by the way. Link to it is in the box below. Yeah. As I was saying, Portuguese has mainly three verb classes: AR, ER, IR, ending verbs. Examples: to study in Portuguese is estudar, AR, ending verb. Speak, falar, AR, ending verb. Buy, comprar, comprar, AR, ending verb. Learn, aprender, ER, ending verb. Oh. Eat, comer, ER. Sell, vender, ER. Open, abrir, IR. Watch, assistir, IR. Decide, decidir, IR. Each verb class has specific conjugation patterns that differ from the others. Another important aspect about verbs in Portuguese. Verbs are classified as regular verbs or irregular verbs. A regular verb is a verb that follows the conjugation patterns. An irregular verb doesn't. So when it comes to irregular verbs, it doesn't matter if it ends in AR, ER, IR, it's irregular. Yes, it doesn't, the ending doesn't matter.
But Bia, how will I know if a verb is regular or irregular? Are there any clues?
I'm sorry, but there aren't. Oh, but I have a good tip for you. If you come across a verb and you don't know if it's regular or irregular, conjugate it as if it were regular. And then ask a Brazilian or ask me in the comments below. Yes, ask me. If the verb is regular, bingo. If it's not, add that verb to your notebook. You should have a notebook with verb conjugations. And ask a friend how to conjugate it. After that, use that verb many times. Eventually, the irregular conjugation will sound natural to you, but you have to use the verbs a lot. Well, let's take a quick look at how regular verbs are conjugated in the present tense. You will drop the final AR, ER, IR endings and add the following endings to the stem. Examples: when it comes to AR ending verbs, drop the final AR and add the following endings in the present tense, yeah? Eu estudo, você estuda, ele estuda, ela estuda, nós estudamos, vocês estudam, eles estudam, elas estudam. If you want to use a gente instead of nós, say a gente estuda. A gente will always take the same conjugation of você, ele, ela. Another AR ending verb. Falar, to speak. Drop the final AR and add the same endings you added when you conjugated estudar. Yes, because these verbs, both of them, have regular conjugations. Eu falo, você fala, ele fala, ela fala, nós falamos, vocês falam, eles falam, elas falam. How about ER ending verbs? Aprender, to learn. Drop the final ER and add these endings. Eu aprendo, você aprende, ele aprende, ela aprende, nós aprendemos, vocês aprendem, eles aprendem, elas aprendem. Another verb. Comer, to eat. Give it a try first. Eu como. Você come. Ele come. Ela come. Nós comemos. Vocês. Vocês comem. Eles comem. Elas comem. How about IR ending verbs? Abrir, to open, add the following endings in the present tense. Eu abro. Você abre. Ele abre. Ela abre. Nós abrimos. Slightly different from ER ending verbs, huh? Nós abrimos. Vocês abrem. Eles abrem. Elas abrem. Another verb. Decidir, to decide. Now you know what to do. Eu decido. Você decide. Ele decide. Ela decide. Nós decidimos. Vocês decidem. Eles decidem. Elas decidem. Each verb tense in Portuguese. Present tense, past tense, imperfect past, future, conditional, imperative, the subjunctive. Each verb tense in Portuguese has their own conjugation patterns. Sometimes there are coincidences, but each verb tense has a conjugation pattern. It may seem overwhelming when you see those long lists and conjugation charts, but don't let them defeat you. No. You will make mistakes. Yes, you will make mistakes. You will conjugate verbs incorrectly, just like Brazilians do in daily conversations. Yeah? But you'll also succeed. Yes, you will succeed. You learned about subject pronouns, verb conjugation. Now it's time to learn how to form simple sentences in Portuguese. All you need is a subject pronoun, a verb, and depending on the verb, an object. Yeah, so subject pronoun, a verb, and if needed, an object. For example, I study. Eu estudo. I study Portuguese. Eu estudo português. Every day. Eu estudo português todos os dias. He eats an apple. Ele come uma maçã. Every day. Ele come uma maçã todos os dias. They watch TV. Eles assistem a TV. Every day. Eles assistem a TV todos os dias. If you want to make those sentences negative, it's super easy. All you need to do is add não, no, or another negative word before the verb. Yeah? So, for example, eu estudo. Let's make it negative. Eu não estudo. I don't study. Eu nunca estudo. I never study. I don't like those examples. I do study. Well, let's see other ones. Ele come uma maçã. Let's make it negative by using não. Ele não come uma maçã. Never. Ele nunca come uma maçã. Eles assistem à TV. Make it negative using não. Eles não assistem à TV. Never. Eles nunca assistem à TV. Very good. In questions, how can we transform sentences into questions? Come on, it's even easier. All you need to do is to use intonation, rising intonation. So, the sentence, yes, the affirmative sentence. Ele come uma maçã, flat. Ele come uma maçã. Now, if I want to ask you, does he eat an apple? Use a rising intonation. Ele come uma maçã? Ele come uma maçã? So, affirmative sentence is flat. Ele come uma maçã. Question. Ele come uma maçã? Ele come uma maçã? Negative sentence. Eles nunca assistem à TV. Eles nunca assistem a TV. But I want to ask you a question. Eles nunca assistem a TV? Eles nunca assistem a TV? Easy breezy. Facinho, facinho. Another important aspect about Portuguese is the gender of nouns. Yes, I recommend you watch that video. That lesson is gold. Then tell me later what you learned from it. Thank you for watching another lesson and be sure to subscribe so not to miss out on valuable content that we often post. See you next time. Até a próxima. Tchau.